Everybody hear me? What did I just say? Right here. Welcome to the reading of the Declaration of Independence. I thank you all for being here. Is that better? Better. You can't hear me, tell me. I know some of you can't hear very well. I can't hear very well. My name is Roy Lightfoot. I am the president of the Catawba Valley chapter of the Sons of American Revolution, and we are here to read the Declaration of Independence. Color guard. Attention. Right face. Carry colors. Carry firelocks. Forward march. Halt. Left face. If you will all please stand with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America. Remaining colors. Color guard dismissed. Please join me with the SAR pledge. We, the descendants of the heroes of the American Revolution, who by their sacrifices established the United States of America, reaffirm our faith in the principles of liberty and our constitutional republic, and solemnly pledge ourselves to defend them against every foe. The SAR mission statement is the Sons of the American Revolution honors our Revolutionary War patriot ancestors by promoting patriotism, serving our communities, and educating and inspire future generations about the founding principles of our country. Did I skip something? Anybody catch that? Greetings! I bring greetings to you from the Catawba Valley chapter and its 30 plus members, and the 1,500 plus members of the North Carolina Sons of the American Revolution. I also want to read off the proclamation from our President General about the Independence Day. Whereas July 4th, 2026 marks the 250th anniversary of the adoption of the Declaration of Independence and the founding of the United States of America, and whereas the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution honors the service and sacrifice of our Revolutionary War patriot ancestors by promoting patriotism, serving our communities, and educating and inspiring future generations about the founding principles of our nation. Whereas members of the Sons of the American Revolution from across the nation will gather in Philadelphia, the birthplace of American independence, to commemorate this historic anniversary. And chapters of state societies will celebrate America 250 in communities throughout the United States. And whereas the enduring principles of liberty, self-government, individual responsibility, and equal rights proclaimed in 1776 remain as relevant today as they were 250 years ago. Now, therefore, I, Michael J. Elston, President General of the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution, do hereby proclaim July 4th, 2026 to be Independence Day 250, and a special celebration within the Sons of the American Revolution. And I call upon all members, chapters, and state societies to commemorate this historic anniversary through patriotic observances, educational programs, public ceremonies, and community celebrations. As we celebrate America's 75th let us honor the courage and sacrifice of the revolutionary generation and renew our commitment to preserving the freedoms they secured. May the ideals of 1776 continue to inspire and guide our nation for generations to come as we continue to strive toward an ever more perfect union. In witness whereof, I have hereby set my hand and caused the seal of the National Society of the Sons of the American Revolution to be affixed on this 29th day of June 2026 in the 250th year of the independence of the United States. Huzzah! So we're going to have Dan Beal, our Secretary and Treasurer of our chapter, come and talk to you about why we're here. Oh, sorry, y'all can sit down. We're standing up. I want y'all to stand up.
So, during the early stages of the American Revolutionary War, New York City held a strategically important position as both a commercial hub and a potential military stronghold. General George Washington, commanding the Continental Army, recognized the city's vital role in shaping the colony's resolve. By the summer of 1776, the Continental Congress had already taken a groundbreaking step by formally adopting the Declaration of Independence, a document that boldly announced the American colonies' intention to sever ties with British rule. New York City was destined to become a central stage for this unfolding drama, reflecting the growing determination of its citizens and soldiers to pursue freedom. On July 9, 1776, General Washington, based at his headquarters at No. 1 Broadway, officially received the Declaration of Independence, which had been adopted on July the 4th that same year. Understanding the magnitude of this historic text and its transformative power, he decided to share its contents in a manner that would resonate deeply with both the Army and the public. He decided to share it with the document in hand. Washington planned a formal reading to ensure everyone under his command in New York City fully grasped the implications of the colony's bold decision to declare themselves free from Britain. This move emphasized the city's evolving role in the Revolution, revealing a community increasingly united in its pursuit of self-governance.
Better? You gotta say something. We can't hear you over the traffic.
At precisely 6 p.m. that evening, Washington assembled the city's brigades at the Common, an area now known as City Home Park. This space, already associated with city, was chosen for its capacity to accommodate large gatherings. Soldiers and onlookers alike converged to hear the Declaration's urgent message, a rallying cry that underscored the colony's collective intent to forge their own political destiny. The reading brought to life the words that had been committed to paper just days earlier, illustrating both the high stakes of the rebellion and the unifying impact of publicly proclaiming independence. This public reading significantly boosted morale among the troops and inspired civilian support for the revolutionary cause. New York City, with its extensive population and vital port, had become a critical site for asserting the will of the people against British authority. The moment served as a powerful demonstration of shared purpose, strengthening bonds among fellow patriots who were bound not by mere words, but by their collective willingness to stand up for their declared rights. From Washington's headquarters to the Common, every aspect of this event highlighted the city's growing importance in the war effort, foreshadowing New York's future role as both a military arena and a symbol of the burgeoning United States. Now, Washington's General Orders, July 9, 1776. Headquarters, New York, July 9, 1776. Parole of Manchester, countersign, Norfolk. John Evans of Captain Ledyard's company, Colonel McDougall's regiment. Hopkins Rice of Captain Pierce's company, Colonel Ritzman's regiment. Having been tried by a general court-martial whereof Colonel Reed was president and found guilty of desertion, were sentenced to receive each 39 lashes. The general approves this sentence and orders them to be executed at the usual time and place. Passes to go from the city are hereafter to be granted by John Berrien, Henry Wilmot, and John Ray, Jr., a committee of the city appointed for that purpose. Officers of the guards at the ferries and wharves to be careful in making this regulation known to the sentries, who are to see that the passes are signed by one of the above persons, and to be careful no soldier goes over the ferry without a pass from the general officer. The North River Guard to be removed to the market house near the ferry stairs as soon as it's fitted up. The Honorable Continental Congress, having been pleased to allow a chaplain to each regiment with the pay of $33 1/3 per month, the colonels or commanding officers of each regiment are directed to procure chaplains accordingly, persons of good characters and exemplary lives, to see that all inferior officers and soldiers pay them a suitable respect and attend carefully upon religious exercises. The blessing and protection of heaven are at all times necessary, but especially so in times of public distress and danger. The general hopes and trusts that every officer and man will endeavor so to live and act as becomes a Christian soldier, defending the dearest rights and liberties of this country. The Honorable of the Continental Congress, impelled by the dictates of duty, policy, and necessity, have been pleased to dissolve the connection which subsisted between this country and Great Britain, and to declare the United Colonies of North America free and independent states. The several brigades are to be drawn up this evening on their respective parades at 6 o'clock when the Declaration of Congress showing the grounds and reasons of this measure is to be read with an audible voice. The General hopes this important event will serve as a fresh incentive to every officer and soldier to act with fidelity and courage, as knowing that now the peace and safety of his country depends solely on the success of our arms, and that he is now in the service of a state possessed of sufficient power to reward his merit and advance him to the highest honors of a free country. The brigade majors are to receive at the Adjutant General's office several of the declarations to be delivered to the Brigadiers General and the colonels of regiments. The brigade majors are to be excused from farther attendance at headquarters except to receive the orders of the day, that their time and attention may be withdrawn as little as possible from the duties of their respective brigades. Those were his orders for that day, July the 9th. We will now read the Declaration of Independence.